What's up? This is Tim Sykes. Today is August 31st, 2015. I'm still feeling a little bit better, so thank you for all your well wishes. I am back in the USA, and we have a very interesting stock to talk about today. It's a good example of the kinds of opportunities that you can make money in penny stocks. Even though the whole world hates on penny stocks, thinking that they're random and they're manipulated, if you look for specific opportunities where there's inefficiencies in the information being reported, namely misinformation, that opens the door to very logical based profits. And I know that's confusing to people, and I'll explain what I mean, but this is the kind of opportunity that I love because it's not a guessing game of what is this company valued at, what is the company, a new contract valued at. This is not a guessing game. This is erroneous information, erroneous pricing, and all you have to do is wait for logic to resume. I know that the stock market is not always logical, but in this case, you have a very, very, very high odds of success given what's happened with it. But before I get into that, I do want to talk about something very exciting. We are having our annual back to school sale. And because I want you guys studying from newsletters from several self-made millionaires, not just me, Super Alerts and Super Pro, the guy is up nearly $2 million this year in 2015. I'm already up 135, 140% in 2015. The markets are down overall. So when you learn from, millionaires, you perform a little bit differently. And then we've got Investors Corner. This kid, Connor, he's made several $100,000 while in high school. And Triforce is coming up on $1 million in profits. So we have a lot of newsletters. They're on sale. Some are 30% off, some are 53% off, but huge, huge, huge savings. And then also, if you want to study specific patterns, DVDs are 45, 50. This one is 70% off, How to Make Millions. It's 35 hours. The newest one, Trading Tickers, from my student Tim Grattani, who's now become, a far better trader than I ever was in his own right. He's taken 1,500 and turned it into now nearly 2.8 million in 4 years. You can see every single, strategy that is used to do that, to accomplish that. And there's also, I think, 35 live trades. People are loving it. So these DVDs are on sale. This sale just lasts for a few days. Just want to reward you guys for studying. It's back to school time. I'm back in the US time. So very exciting September. We have a lot of market volatility. Let's get to this stock. And I'll include the links to those sales right under this video. But this is what this stock did on Friday. It went from basically 5 cents all the way up to 80 cents. And today it's back down to 8.5 cents, down 87%. So normal person would look at this and be like, penny stocks are ridiculous. It's up 1,700% in one day, then it loses 87%. I'm just going to stay away from this. This sounds like Wolf of Wall Street, scary stuff. If you look at it like that, then yes, stay away. Nobody is forcing you to trade this. But if you want to learn the ins and outs, why did it spike 1,700%? Why is it down 88%? I did not trade on Friday because I was actually flying back to the US. So I missed this 1,700% run up, and I kind of regret that I wasn't there. But, every now and then I miss a trade due to travel or my crazy life. So today I actually shorted this stock. I bet against it. And not saying that I'm up 87% because I wasn't short, on Friday because I was traveling. I shorted at roughly 12.5 cents. So I'm up 30% on my position so far. And I think this fades back down to 7, maybe 6, even 5 cents a share. It's going to lose all of its gains on Friday because the only reason why it was up is because of this faulty article. Thank you, Javier Hasse, for being the latest lazy reporter. You got a lot of reporters. They don't earn much. They're not that smart. Their job is to report the news. They're trying to break news as fast as possible. So when they see a company name, they just jump to conclusions. They're not very thorough. And I have to thank people like Javier. A lot of people are like, oh, I hate Javier. He's such an idiot. He reported the news wrong. I say thank you, Javier, for being inept and being incompetent. We need incompetent people because it creates opportunities. There would be no opportunity if Javier never wrote this article. So Javier wrote this article, Tesla secures lithium supplies for Gigafactory, and he reported that, the company that won the contract was U.S. Rare Earth Minerals, this USMN. You can see here they've updated the article I said a previous version of this article incorrectly stated that U.S. Rare Earth Minerals was the company involved in the deal. Here is the actual press release. It's Rare Earth Minerals PLC, not U.S. Rare Earth Minerals Inc. There's a difference, and it's similar, so I can understand how Javier got confused. Maybe it's not even his first language. It seems similar enough. They both operate in Nevada. But this Rare Earth Minerals PLC, and this is a Motley Fool article that got it right, they're based in Great Britain. And you can see here this morning, U.S. Rare Earth Minerals, this USMN, denied knowledge of the press release. They announced this right at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And they said their management was surprised at the announcement. For the record, although U.S. Rare Earth Minerals' primary product contains lithium, we are not currently engaged in the specific mining and sale of lithium. However, we are exploring options, blah, blah, blah. Further, USMN has no agreements of any kind with Tesla. USMN had no part in this misleading press release, and we take no responsibility for it. So, the reason why the company announced this press release is because I'm sure the SEC and authorities came to them and said, hey, your stock is up 1,700%. Is this a pump and dump? Are you promoting yourselves? What's going on? So they had to put this. Their lawyers made them deny knowledge of the press release. I'm sure Javier is getting some shit for putting the wrong ticker in there. He's now on the SEC's watch list. But for you guys at home, this opens up opportunity because this stock was trading at 4 cents a share before the erroneous news came out. Okay? And obviously I wish I could have bet against it at 77 cents or 60 cents or 50 cents or 40 cents or even 30 or 20 cents. But I never got the chance. Right when from the market open, pre-market it traded a little at 23 and 18 cents. But then it came all the way down to 8 cents right near the market open when the company denied knowledge of that press release. So I wasn't going to short it right at the open at 8 cents because even though theoretically it could go down to 4 cents, the downside is 4 cents a share. And what if, for some reason it spikes to 10 or 20 cents a share? It's not worth the risk. But when it bounced a little, right to here, to the 12 cent a share range, now it's gone up a little bit off of its lows. Probably some of the shorts who shorted wisely on Friday are covering. And now it has 8 cents of downside. So again, this isn't like a huge opportunity. I wish that USMN had not put out that press release right at the market open. We could have shorted it at 50, 40, or 30 cents, and it would still go down to 8 cents or 7 cents or 6 cents because it's a totally erroneous article. But when it drops 87, 86%, there's still a little opportunity because this stock is still up 100%. That is the beauty of penny stocks. Everything doesn't correct right in real time. And when I shorted it at 12 cents, there was an actually good opportunity that, it could still drop. Remember, when I'm shorting it at 12.5 cents a share, and mind you, this is what I do. I talk to my high net worth broker. Their minimum is $30,000. Unfortunately, I've tried to get them to lower it, but that's the minimum to open an account there. And I talked to Royce. I am in my orders because their software doesn't work on Macs. I'm not set up to be, the best trader. I'm set up to be the best teacher. So in case you're wondering why am I IMing in orders, it's not very efficient. But my high net worth broker had shares to short, so I shorted 10,000 shares at 0.1245. So a little over $1,000, $1,200. And right now at 8 cents, I'm up like $400 shorting. And I know a lot of you are confused. You're like, but the stock is down. How are you making money? Well, a negative times a negative is a positive. If you take a negative position, namely negative 10,000 shares, and the stock drops 4 cents a share, negative 10,000 shares times negative 4 cents equals positive $400 in profits so far. I still think I can cover in the 7s, maybe even the 6s or the 5s, and make 30 to 50% on my money. Now, this is an ultra small position, and this is not a great example. Again, I want to remind you because it drops so quickly, but it's a good example of the kinds of erroneous reporting that happens. This will happen again, whether it's Javier or some other reporter who gets the name wrong of some company or some ticker, and maybe the stock might not spike 1,700%, but a stock will spike 200 or 300% on inaccurate news. And if and when the news gets corrected the next day or within a few hours, that opens up opportunity to short. And you can make money. Sometimes there will be no shares to short. Sometimes the stock will be higher. But this will happen time and again. And if you have the right mentality, you can be prepared. And if you have the right brokers, if you have $30,000, I highly encourage you to open up an account with my high net worth broker. Email admin@timothysykes.com. I'll send you a personal invite. I don't want to get their name out there. I've done that with some brokers in the past, and it's ruined their business because they couldn't handle all my high maintenance subscribers. Everybody wants shares to short and service. And, penny stock companies, for as much as we've grown, I mean, we're still like a little speck on Wall Street. So you can't expect perfect service. You can't expect shares to short all the time. But this is an opportunity where the odds are greatly in my favor. I'm not guessing what USMN's worth is, okay? They sell a freaking product that makes grass grow quicker. If you look at their website, it's pretty funny. The company is not worth 70 cents a share, let alone 50 cents a share, 20 cents a share, or even 12 cents a share, or even 8 cents a share. It most likely is going back down to 4 or 5 cents a share sometime in the next few days, and I can make 30 to 50% on my money. Remember, I trade with a very small account in order to teach. I'm not going to short 1 million shares of this stock because it still could bounce. Crazier things have happened. But again, I make money based on solid odds. And I know while so many people are like, oh, Tim, my broker doesn't have shares to short. Oh, give me a stock to buy. Oh, there's a million excuses why you don't want to do this trade and why you don't like doing this trade. But for me, what I want to teach you is trades like this over and over again where the odds are on your side, no matter what the specifics are, whether it's a 10-cent stock or a 50-cent stock or a dollar stock. When there's an erroneous press release like this and the odds are so heavily in your favor that it's going to come all the way back down, maybe even more. Maybe this goes back down to 3 cents or even 2 cents when people are like, this was my one chance to sell, let me just get out. This is how you can become a millionaire very quickly. And a lot of people doubt me. My first millionaire student thought I was full of BS. But if you focus on high odds trades like this over and over and over again, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out, you cannot help but grow your account exponentially. And that is why I laugh at these, entertainment channels like CNBC, whose ratings are at all-time lows because, frankly, their viewers aren't making money. It's so much fun to guess what Google is going to earn and, talk about the economy and talk about the Fed and how everything's interconnected. And people who watch CNBC actually believe that they're learning how to make money because they're like, oh, I'm understanding how the stock market works. I'm reading the Wall Street Journal every day. I'm learning. And you're learning bullshit. Most mutual fund managers, professionals, these people who earn millions of dollars and they look all professional in their suits and their ties, 70% of them fail to beat the S&P 500 year in, year out. All you have to do is invest in the S&P 500 and you can do more than quote all of these experts. 90% plus of traders lose money. So I get this all the time. People want to learn about the stock market, but you have to be very careful with what you learn. Most of the stuff you learn in the stock market and reported in the quote financial media is entertainment bullshit. Trying to guess earnings, trying to guess. The odds are not very high. There's an ugly bald man on TV. His ratings are the highest on CNBC, and he's been proven to be right roughly 35-40% of the time. You do better flipping a freaking coin. This is why my students and I win 70-75% of the time. You can't take that many trades. This doesn't happen every day. Sometimes there's no shares to short. It's frustrating. But if you want mathematical probability on your side, these are the kinds of trades that you have to learn how to do. And this will happen time and again with small companies because it's a gift and the curse that so many people hate on penny stocks and you have total inept people like Javier reporting on it. That's never going to change, unless I create thousands of millionaires, and that's not happening anytime soon because sadly, 90% of my students don't even bother watching the video lessons. They get frustrated. I'm getting tons of cancels from students because of trades like this, because they're like, Tim did this short. I can't find shares to short. It's annoying. They don't understand that trades like this are educational and they will help prepare you for the next time there is erroneous news, whether it's in a few days or a few weeks or a few months. These are the trades that you really have to be on for. And a few of you guys in the chat room were nailing this. That's how I found it. Thank you. I don't even remember. Somebody in the chat room told me about this, watch this play. They were actually saying that this company won a deal with Tesla and they were excited how far it would go. And then I did some research and realized it was the wrong ticker. But this is the kind of play. It's not fun. It's not, mainstream. It's a very niche kind of trade, but it's also very highly probable that I'm going to make 20, 30, 40, 50% on my money. So this is the play that I'm in right now. I don't see anything else really. I know a lot of you guys were trading VTL, and this had a nice little morning spike and then did nothing. BLFS had a nice morning spike and then did nothing. That's the market these days. You have to really look for those morning spikes, but then understand that even though the market has come back the past few days, we're probably still going to see more downtrending in the overall market. It's still August. There's a whole group of people who think the bottom is in, the bottom is in. We're 6, 7 years deep into the bull market, coming up on the 2 most dangerous months of the year. I do not for 1 second believe that the bottom is in. And you have to learn to adapt to this market. Plays like USMN where you have a statistical probability, just the fact that the news is totally wrong. These plays can work in any market, but in the current market, if a stock is spiking at the market open and you want to buy it like BLFS or VTL, that's fine, buy it. But just understand that we're in a different market than we were 6 months ago or a year or 2 years ago. And you need to trade more conservatively. You're not going to get these huge all-day runners all the time. That said, there still could be a huge runner. I mean, AQXP spiked from 2 to 50, and that was just a few weeks ago. So in a bearish sentiment type of market, you have to really kind of look at the extremes. The vast majority of the plays aren't going to perform as well, but every now and then you'll get a huge performer. It's kind of weird how it works. I've been through a few bear markets in the past. A lot of people are scared. They think that there's not going to be as many plays. There's not as many plays, but when there is a play, it becomes, a supernova. And I had no idea that this was going to go from 2 to 50. But I was actually teaching a few students, challenge students, live in Madrid this day. And when the stock was 18 or 20, some people were saying, oh, I'm going to short it. It's going to come down. And I was like, you have no idea how high this can go. This can go to 30 or even 40 or 50. And, I wish I had posted that in the chat room, but it's tough to teach people live in person and also put all the commentary in the chat room. So again, I apologize. A few people have chided me on that because I said potential short, but then to my people in Madrid, I was telling them, yes, it is a potential short, but beware of the risks. So I'm going to keep trying to share as many thoughts as possible. But sometimes, I'm traveling. Sometimes I get sick. I'm too overworked. But plays like USMN, please watch this video again and again, because even though, not many of you are going to make money on this. You're not going to find shares to short. You're not even going to realize, how much money you can make when a stock drops from 12 cents to like 6 cents. It sounds like such a small profit margin. It is such a high odds trade. It's basically like me finding $400 on the sidewalk. If you find $400 on the sidewalk, I mean, would you take it? That's pretty much the odds here. I would say the odds of me making money on my short at 12.5 cents, or even if I shorted it now at like 9 cents, the odds are probably 80 or 90 or maybe even 95%. You don't get those odds anywhere else in the stock market. You don't get those odds by watching CNBC or learning about economics. This is a misinformation type of play. It's an informational inefficiency, and these are just gimme plays. So I hope that you at least learn from this one and say, okay, Tim, I point taken. There will be other erroneous press releases. You just have to wait for these ridiculous run-ups, and never give in to any press release. Just because a press release from Benzinga or the Motley Fool or Seeking Alpha or TheStreet.com or even the company itself, they all can be erroneous, and you must doubt every single penny stock when they're up 100% or 200% or 500% or 1700%. Most of the time, something is going to get corrected, and there's a reason why this stock was trading at its price, and there's a reason why it'll probably fall back down. So when you see these ridiculous run-ups, always doubt, always look to confirm, confirm. And if you can find out that it's an erroneous press release, really look at short selling. I wish I had been there on Friday, and I would have been looking at this at 70 cents a share. I don't know how fast I would have done my research. I definitely wouldn't have bought a stock up 1,700%, but depending on how fast I would have come to the conclusion that this was an erroneous press release, that's when you could really make money, shorting 10,000 shares at 70 cents. So I'm betting 7,000, and then it comes down to 10 cents and I make $6,000. So there is huge amounts of opportunity in these kinds of plays. So I didn't nail it this time, but at least it's a good example for you to learn from. I'll see you guys in the chat room. Thanks.